External reality configures itself to match who we are being. And who we're being creates the frequency that we're emitting. You might say, how do we create that frequency? Well, that frequency is created by our thoughts, emotions, and the actions that we're taking. Now, we really can't control our thoughts to a large degree. You know, we have random thoughts pop up all the time during the day, but we can control which ones we pay attention to. And that, once again, comes back to awareness, which I talked about a lot in my last video. So we can choose the thoughts that we pay attention to and give credence to. And then our thoughts create the emotions, and our emotions create thoughts. They're kind of like on a cyclical thing where one creates the other, and the more thoughts you have of one way, of positive or negative, will create more positive or negative emotions, and vice versa. They just run off of each other constantly. But based on those thoughts and emotions, we either can get despondent and not want to do anything because we're depressed and anxious and fearful, or we can be inspired and take inspired action. And that's where things really turn around. When we're taking an inspired action and living in the moment, in doing what we're doing out of enjoyment and out of connection with source, and it's driven by source and inspired by source, it's exciting. And we're putting our energy into that. And that comes out in the end product. Whether you're writing a book or doing a video or just going to work, whatever you do at work, the quality of our work depends on the energy and the type of energy we're putting into it. If it's angry energy or joyful energy or peaceful energy or fearful energy, well, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job. That's going to be a different kind of work energy that you're putting out than, you know what, I'm really thankful for this job and I get paid pretty well to do it. Two totally different realities. And when we align our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we become a magnet for what we desire. Our thoughts are the electric part of our body, and our emotions are the magnetic part of our body. And when we align our heart and brain and have heart and brain coherence, then we are magnets for the things that we want and for the person that we want to become, because ultimately that is what's going to draw the life that we desire to us. And of course, there's going to be times when you're not on the top of your game, when things happen, when you get knocked off track a little bit, you have an emotional response. Everybody does that. And that's okay. The thing is feel it, deal with it, release it, and then move on. Because it's not worth just ruminating about, oh, this went wrong. They said this. You know, you feel bad about something you said or that you did. And, you know, you got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive others. We need to just move on. And that's the thing. We're going to feel negative emotions. We're going to have difficult days. Some days are harder than others. But I also don't believe we should wallow in those feelings and have a pity party. Just go, I'm just going to lay on the couch today and not do anything. Well, you know what? I guess there are days like that, depending on what happened. But we certainly don't want to make a habit out of that, because our habits do create results or negate results in our life. It could work either way. Some of the ways to get your frequency back on track is to go out and take a walk in nature. Listen to some great music. Deep breathing. Exercise. All these things. There's a ton of different things. And of course, meditation and affirmations. All those things. And more than anything, honestly, showing gratitude for the things that are going right in your life and acknowledging the good things that you do have right now is a powerful way to bring more good things into your life. Realize that you're greater than anything occurring at the moment. Accept what's happening. Realize it's temporary. Move out of that state as quickly as you can and consciously recreate the place that you want to be, the, the way that you want to feel. We can recreate. That's the wonderful thing about being a human. We could create and recreate the way we view things, the situations around us. We could see things in different lights and different aspects when we choose to do so. We don't have to be trapped in old, antiquated thought patterns. We can teach our minds to seek out the things that we want in life, to notice the good rather than to dwell on the negative. And that's where the RAS comes in, the reticular activating system. And I've spoke about this before because it's a filter that makes us pay attention to the things that we believe the most or the things that we believe are the most important to us. So it helps you find what you're looking for. So if you set your mind that this is going to work out, this business I'm doing is going to work out, this relationship is going to work out, the RAS will make your mind seek ways to make that happen. But if you're thinking this is going to fall through, there's no way this is going to work, your mind's going to do that. The RAS will do that too. It'll seek out reasons why it's not going to work. It'll create reasons that it's not going to work. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I've done that to myself. I've done that to myself with businesses and different things before. And it's so frustrating because when you don't realize that's what's happening, you're like, what's wrong? Why does this keep happening? Why don't things work out for me? Is something wrong with me? And many of us feel inherently like something's wrong with us. You know, that we just don't understand. Other people know more than we do and they understand and we just don't get it. Why? Why don't things work for me? And the reason is because of this. Because our minds are trained to look for things that don't work. So we find all kinds of reasons and ways that things aren't going to work out. But we can just as easily flip that around for our RAS to look for the things that will make us joyful, peaceful, happy, successful, financially viable, all those things. And once again, meditation, reading books, affirmations, anything that sets your mind in the right tone, the right thought processes helps. But really to get into your subconscious mind and change that's the important part. And that's why doing it in the morning after you wake up or meditating before you go to sleep at night or doing affirmations or deep breathing exercises or visualizing, all those things. Do it when you're in alpha states, going into theta states. And that's the most powerful time to reprogram your subconscious mind. I wrote a book called Unleashing Destiny that discusses a lot of these concepts and mind programs and like the RAS and the default mode network and various other aspects of our mind that helps us create and manifest when we know how to use them correctly. When we use these mind systems correctly, they can create or at least help us to recognize opportunities and solutions to situations rather than just feeling down and seeking out more reasons why it's not going to work out. So check out that book. I think it'll help you. You can have an amazing life. Start being the best version of yourself today. You can picture that. What would the best version of yourself do? What would they say? How would they act? How would they think? Where would they go? What type of people would they spend their time with? There's my cat meowing at me. So we can have the things we want. We can do the things we want to do in life. We could be the people that we want to be. The thing too is, you know what? It may not happen on your time. It may not happen when you want it or exactly how you want it. But man, when you just know it's going to happen and you believe it from the end as if it's already done, that'll draw those things into your life, the people, the circumstances, the situations. To look. All right, I got to show you. That's my pretty kitty. We as humans tend to overcomplicate things. We have accepted stories and views about ourselves, about money, about religion, about relationships, about how hard we have to work. Yeah, you gotta hustle and grind. Well, maybe sometimes, but I don't think we were meant to live our lives as like slaves to somebody else's business, getting some minuscule minimum pay to make them rich. I mean, there might be a time when we're young where that's something to make a little extra money when we're in high school or college or something. But we don't need to live like that. Most of us live like that until we're retired. Man, we need to get past that kind of mentality. There's no reason. However, people we trusted and loved and looked up to, and quite frankly, they were doing their best and they believed these stories themselves, told us how limited we are and how that's not possible. Well, there's no money in that. Go do this. There's money in this. And you take a job that you either hate or dislike at best because there's money in that. Meanwhile, you have this burning desire for whatever it is, art, just entrepreneurial business ideas, whatever. And you squelch that and hold it down and dismiss it because, well, you were told that that's never going to work. So you just believe that story. We don't have to believe those stories. Let them go, man. Let them go. Imagine starting your life today with a clean slate, with none of these beliefs, with none of these made up rules and concepts that were fed to us when we were young. All these things we bought into, all these things that we put ourselves through to try to fit into society and to try to make people we loved proud of us or happy. Look, I'm not saying it's bad to make your parents proud, but it's better to be true to yourself because eventually they will become proud of you. But be true to yourself. Be true to the spirit within you. Be true to the person that Christ, that God, Creator, Source, the universe made you to be. Be true to that person. Be the best version of that person, and you will find success in this world. Once again, it might not come exactly how you want or when you want, but it'll come. You step into that version of yourself, that person that you are meant to be. There's no stopping. This may not seem true to you, but it is true. The past never happened, and the future is yours to create. Believe that for a minute. Believe that story I'm telling you for a minute. What would you do today? What would you change today if that was the truth? Give it a shot. Do that. Commit to that. Make that a conviction and a belief deep within. That the past doesn't matter. It's gone. The future is mine to create. Start today and build a great, beautiful, wonderful life for yourself. You can do it. I'm in the midst of doing it right now. Am I exactly where I want to be? No. But I'm on my way, and I'm a lot further along than I was a couple years back. So I wish you the best. Peace and love. Thanks for watching.